adduction. Adduction is taking thigh over the midline. So the kind of muscles that we have are adductor magnus. So that's the big, humongous muscle that we've got here on the medial compartment. Has its aponeurosis there, the hole for femoral artery to go through and things like that. But again, a bit complicated there. So you have this big muscle here in your medial compartment. So when that shortens and goes, that's what happens. Not with that sound, of course, but it has that kind of effect. Let's see if I have a picture so I know where it inserts to. I think it's the pubis, if I remember correctly. Yeah. It has two. It has the pubic ramus, which is here at the front of your pubic bone, and the ischial tuberosity, which is your bone and your bum, and it inserts through your thigh and along the femur. So because it's got that section of the hip here and the pubis, it can contract this way and go and shorten. So when it concentrically contracts, it'll adduct. Along with adductor magnus, which is the larger of one, we have brevis and longus. So brevis is the shorter one, again with the pubis and the hip. It's around sort of this area. So you've got the magnus doing the whole bit here. You have brevis, which is shorter, and then you have adductor longus, which is the longer one of the two. Magnus is massive, so it's bigger in area. Longus is the longest. Brevis is the shortest. And all those do the same as magnus, they adduct the hip. There is also a muscle called pectineus that comes from your pubis to the femur, and that lies on top of all the adductors. It's the most anterior one, and that contracts and goes smaller. Again, adducts the hip. And then we have, the best one, gracilis, which inserts into the knee and to the pubis. And as my lecturers like to say, it's the best way to know it's keeping the lady's grace, so it keeps your legs together. It's a strong muscle here on the inner side, and so if that shortens, think about it, pulling that string, it can go that way. It'll adduct. Abduction, so that's moving away from the hip. So here we've got gluteus medius and minimus. So they're on sort of the lateral side of your bum, best way to put it in simple terms. You got medius, which is here, and minimus that's sort of underneath it, going to the femur. And because of where they insert to in the elastic cancer, when they tighten up and concentrically contract your femur, you abduct the limb from the hip. Tensor fasciolata, that one that I was talking about here, it's got that little muscle here and the iliotibial band there, and that tenses up again, tightens, pulling that string, and away you go. And there's a muscle called sartorius, which inserts from the knee, snakes across to your, what's the word, iliac crest. So it's sort of the tuberosity at the front, that bony bit that you can feel in your hips. And because it's around the lateral side, that'll have a bit of a pull and help with adducting the hip. So external rotation, so remember lying back and thinking of England and opening your thighs out. Gluteus maximus, so the large bum muscle, because it attaches to the lateral side of the femur. You can imagine it pulling out that way. Quadratus femoris, piriformis, obturator internus, gemellus superior are all internal hip muscles. It's a bit difficult to try and describe now because of where they are. Might have to use a diagram. Here we go. This is, I think it might be a Netter's diagram. If you look here, I might have to move this. You can see this is gluteus maximus, medius and minimus even. Oh, there's a bit of a shine here from the window. Ah, there we go. And you see all these little muscles here and how they attach to the femur. They go from posterior of the femur, and because it's externally rotating, it pulls the femur towards the central part of your hip, so that has this sort of external rotation sort of movement. So I have to move that because it's the easiest way to do that. So because they're all sort of hidden inside underneath your gluteals, when they pull, they bring in the femur, trying to bring it closer to the back, so you posterior, and so it externally rotates the hip in doing so. Sorry, that's not with the minimus and medius, it's with gluteus maximus there. Internal rotation, you have secondary actions by gluteus medius and minimus, allowing the rotation of the femur. Psoas major and iliacus, or iliopsoas here, again because of where they are, they'll contract and go smaller and internally rotate the femur. And tensor fasciae lata also helps because that muscle is here at the front where your hip bone is, the ilium. It's here, and so by tensing up a bit, it helps with that rotation there. So, those are the muscles of the hip and how it flexes and extends. Click on the next video on how that relates to Engage. I'm doing it this way because the memory of my phone won't be enough for me to do it continually, so you just have to click on different ones. I hope it helps. I hope it is a help. It's helping me and makes me remember all the different stuff. I just apologise for the room, it's a bit of a mess. Student digs. Hey. See you in the next video. Bye.